for joining me again on another episode of what I was never taught in pharmacy school. My name is Kelly and I am a pharmacist by trade. So let me tell you what we were taught about in pharmacy school. We were taught about drugs and first line therapy and second line therapy and so on and so forth. And we were also schooled in the long list of side effects. So let's start out by defining what a drug is. Well, the legal definition of a drug is any non-food chemical that alters the way a person thinks or feels or functions or behaves. And a more common definition of drug is any substance, again, other than food, that's used to prevent or diagnose or treat or relieve symptoms of a disease or abnormal condition. So with those definitions, doesn't it only stand to reason that foods and the nutrients found within foods could do the same thing? So that is our proposal today, to consider nutrition and supplementation as first-line therapy. So buckle up, class is in session. So this week we are going to be talking about the plexus sleep product. First, we're going to start with the product claims and the indications. What does plexus claim this product is going to do? And we take that right from the literature. So the key benefits, or what I'm calling product claims, it helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. It promotes a quality restorative sleep and supports a healthy sleep cycle and helps maintain a balanced microbiome, which supports quality sleep. So in my estimation, this product is indicated for people that struggle with sleep, either falling asleep or staying asleep. So let's go back to my pharmacy brain now. What are some drugs that I was taught about in pharmacy school that would help alleviate this symptom? Well, we can start very old school. We can start with the benzodiazepine class, specifically Halcion or Triazolam, Restoril or Temazepam, or Prosom, Astazolam, Lorazepam. Any of these PAM drugs can be used for sleep. And they basically do that because a side effect of them is drowsiness. We can talk about the tricyclic antidepressants. And when they're used in smaller doses, that is what they help with. So amitriptyline or doxepin. We can move on to antidepressant drugs. Again, when they're used in smaller doses, they are used for sleep. Trazodone being really common, or mirtazapine. We can move on to hypnotics or sedatives. Sonata being a popular one, or Ambien, Zolpidem being, in my opinion, the most popular one. And there's even a class of drugs that are melatonin receptor agonists, like Rosarum. Many different classes of drugs, all used to treat the same symptom rather than getting to the root of the problem, and sometimes even using a side effect of that drug to accomplish this. All these drugs are meant and indicated for short-term use, which I seldom see in clinical practice. Okay, let's move on to the label. What is actually in this stuff that is making it effective? Well, the fascinating part of this is the first ingredient on the label is a prebiotic fiber. Shocker, I know. And with Plexus being the OG gut health company, this should not surprise any of us by now. So that first ingredient is FOS, or its full name being a short chain fructooligosaccharide. The next category, this tranquil blend, which consists of ashwagandha root and leaf extract, gamma aminobutyric acid or GABA, L-tryptophan, lemon balm leaf extract. And the last thing to wrap it up is melatonin. And now it's time to take a deep but really shallow dive into each of these ingredients and look at the research that backs up what these ingredients do. Let's start with that fructooligosaccharide, which happens to be a carbohydrate that's found in plants. Common things like garlic or onion or leeks, asparagus, bananas, or some not so common things like chicory root or blue agave. So this fructooligosaccharide is primarily used as a sweetener alternative. However, there are other things that this thing does. Now, because this is an indigestible fiber, it doesn't have any effect on blood sugar. It travels through the small intestine and goes right to the large intestine, where it supports the growth of healthy bacteria. And that's what I mean by prebiotic fiber. It feeds our healthy gut microbiome. Now, some other things that this does, it does protect the system against unhealthy bacteria. In fact, there's been studies out there even during food poisoning instances where it suppresses Clostridium, which we would consider an icky microbe. There are animal studies out there showing that it reduces weight and it reduces cholesterol levels. And because it is a fiber, it's obviously a good source of fiber in our diet. Now let's move on to the meat of this product, this tranquil blend. So let's start with ashwagandha. Now from what I read, this herb has been around for thousands of years and used for various ailments, all the way from stress relief to improving concentration and even increasing energy levels. Let's go over some quick things that research supports and backs up that this ashwagandha can do. So its claim to fame here is reducing stress. It is an adaptogen by definition, which has to do with decreasing stress. Studies have shown, obviously because it decreases stress, that plays into sleep. It's also been shown in studies to benefit athletic performance because it significantly enhances the maximum oxygen consumption in healthy adults and athletes. It's been shown to reduce symptoms in mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety. Some studies are showing that it is effective for male fertility. There's evidence that it has benefit for people with high blood sugars or diabetes. It has compounds that target inflammation. It benefits cognitive function like brain function and memory. And the big one we're looking for here, yes, the studies show that it promotes a healthy and restful sleep. But not only that, with this improved sleep quality, these patients were also showing mental alertness upon waking. The next one, gamma aminobutyric acid or GABA. Now this is a neurotransmitter found in our brain. And when it attaches to its receptor in the brain, it produces a calming effect. And of course, that helps with anxiety and stress and feelings of fear, and even showing benefits for those with seizures. Now, this GABA is only found in our diet in the form of fermented foods. Now, the research out there supporting more of its popular uses would be decreasing blood pressure, curbing anxiety within an hour after taking, with managing stress and fatigue, and insomnia. In fact, there was a study done in 2018 that those taking GABA within an hour of going to bed fell asleep faster than those who were taking a placebo. And this group also reported improved sleep quality over those next 4 weeks. Let's move on to tryptophan. Now, tryptophan happens to be an essential amino acid, and we know that amino acids are the building blocks of protein. We find it in foods, generally animal-sourced foods, and nuts. And the popular one, turkey. Now, after we consume tryptophan, our body converts some of this into 5-HTP, and we know 5-HTP is a precursor to serotonin. So the studies out there show health benefits after using tryptophan in the arenas of increased well-being, seeing relief from anxiety and depression, and a healthier and better quality sleep. Let's move on to lemon balm. So lemon balm is also known more commonly as bee balm, and it's been traditionally used to reduce anxiety and improve cognitive function. So let's give a rundown of all the things that this bee balm is beneficial in. Well, it helps you relax and promotes a feeling of calmness. And that's because this lemon balm or bee balm contains compounds in it that have a relaxing or sedative effect. It's shown to improve cognitive function, improve memory. It's shown to have cardioprotective effects, and that's because of a compound found in it that reduces oxidative stress. It's been shown to be beneficial for cold sore treatments and relieving indigestion, and more cardioprotective benefits in the form of HDL, LDL, triglyceride levels. And there's ongoing studies related to its anti-inflammatory properties, which we know ties into everything. And last but never least, melatonin. Now we know this one as a natural sleep aid, but it's got many more powerful benefits and aspects to your health. So melatonin is a hormone that's produced in the pineal gland in our brain. It's primarily responsible for regulating our circadian rhythm, which is basically our sleep and wake cycles. But in addition to improving sleep profiles, it's involved in managing our immune system, as well as blood pressure and cortisol levels. It acts as an antioxidant, so there's studies out there tying it into eye health. There's research showing that it's improving symptom profiles in seasonal affective disorder. And one more thing, it's been shown to decrease stomach secretions, acidic secretions, which of course plays into heartburn and gastroesophageal reflux disease. All right, that's the ingredient rundown, and I'm sure you saw the common thread: relaxation, calming effect, helping you fall asleep, helping you stay asleep, helping you wake up feeling refreshed. And isn't that why we want a good night's sleep in the first place? Okay, let's move into dosing, because I can never get away from dosing. So the Sleep comes as a gummy. It is sugar-free, it is a mixed berry flavor, and they are delicious. It's indicated to chew one of these gummies about 30 to 60 minutes before you are ready to call it a night. And in my personal opinion, using this on an as-needed basis is just fine. And of course, this is non-addictive, which differs from a lot of the drugs that we talked about at the beginning. And hopefully your gut health is in a good place where you're not having to use these every night. And if it's not, I need to introduce you to TRIPLEX, because that is the cornerstone of gut health. The video is right here. Check it out. Okay, let's move on to some precautions. Now, if you are using a drug like we talked about earlier, this would be duplication. It's one or the other. Don't be doubling up on something, then there's no need for it, and there are gonna be risks involved. Or if you're already on a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, a SSRI, so Prozac, Zoloft, that whole class of drugs, because of the tryptophan, that's also affecting serotonin levels. So use with caution. I would be cautious if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, just because the studies aren't out there. You'll have to do your own research. And also, it is indicated for adults 18 years of age or older, even though we know melatonin is routinely given to kiddos. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much again for hanging with me till the very end. And if you are new to this plexus train, I am gonna list in that description box my link. Get on there, nose around and ask me some questions. Curiosity will get you on this train every time. I'm also gonna list in that description box some videos I've done in the past related to the sleep product or gut health in general. There will also be some previous playlists that I've done, and the current playlist is gonna be right here. So if you have not caught all of the episodes, they'll be easy to sort through. Well, this has been fun. Taking some time to consider supplementation and nutrition as first-line therapy. And now you may know more than your pharmacist. Class dismissed.